Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition to DarkMatch, the wrestling podcast with the best team of reviewers in the world. I am your host, Tifus, and with me as always are...
I'm Magpie wondering if the pre-show's in canon.
I'm Christopher says DarkMatch is Mastodon of the Monotone.
And I'm Ironbite Dash. And now, this is what is the Iron Sheik tweeting. Today I miss my brother, the Andy Kaufman. He teach me the comedy, I teach him the wrestling.
There's one Jewish person that the Iron Sheik likes.
That's kind of depressing.
Not particularly depressing, but
I mean, it just makes me remember that the world is a little bit less funny since his passing.
That, unfortunately, is very much true.
I just wish he was. I just wish he was still around today to beat women and just be the greatest champion ever. Because really, he was proving a point. Men are just better than women.
And moving on to something that's not as depressing as Magpie's views on gender norms.
Payback.
Yeah, we're going to be reviewing WWE's Payback pay-per-view 2015.
1998 movie with Mel Gibson.
Oh, God. Moving on.
No, not that Payback. We're talking about WWE Payback.
About Mel Gibson's Payback.
I don't want it to ever talk about Mel Gibson unless he's in a WWE thing, and
I like how we go. I like how we go from
Mel Gibson.
praising. I like how we go from Magpie praising a Jew to praising a Jew hater.
Well,
just Payback.
Yeah. Anyways,
WWE.
Let's talk Payback because believe it or not, this was a good wrestling show.
Yeah, so very solid.
I liked it.
Which, considering Extreme Rules,
Which it didn't.
which
It did
is
not rule at all.
yeah, is kind of weird that we've got the WWE going into bipolar mode.
Well, that's okay. They get another chance to screw it up in 2 weeks with Elimination Chamber, and then again in 2 weeks after that to fix their mistakes with Money in the Bank. So
yeah, I'm
prepare
not
for
too
review overload, guys.
I'm not, and even that, even though we can't consider it a true pay-per-view, we do have NXT Takeover.
Yep, that's a pay-per-view.
That is a pay-per-view.
I'm pretty sure that, we're going to go insane with the amount of action the WWE has given us. But nonetheless,
At least we get action from somewhere.
that's true. And so let's just jump right in. Payback, of course, is coming to us live from Baltimore, Maryland, which, if you follow...
Which that means if you see a sign where it says, if so-and-so wins and we riot, they really will.
I was going to not mention what was going on, but okay, yeah.
Shut up, stupid. We're topical.
We apparently are.
Please don't make me get topical.
Yeah, we'll start off with the pre-show,
Not the
which had two bonus matches besides the advertised match of the Meta Powers versus the Ascension. We also had R-Truth versus Stardust. Because Stardust was pissed at R-Truth knocking him out of the King of the Ring tournament. Continuity?
And also,
oh my God.
R-Truth was pissed off at Stardust releasing a bag of fake spiders on him. Because R-Truth hates spiders.
Which
Little
again,
Jimmy loves spiders.
continuity.
I smell a sitcom.
I don't, but
One likes spiders, the other one doesn't. The comedy will ensue. It'll be on the network in a month or two.
right. So
No!
yeah, so Stardust versus R-Truth, solid performance. Which we've all come to expect from Stardust and R-Truth, and not a whole lot to say about this match. Anybody have any other options on that?
R-Truth
Was it
doesn't like
advertised
spiders.
before it happened?
No, it wasn't. This was a bonus match.
Okay, so it's just like an impromptu...
Yeah. This was a kind of a... I'm mad at you, so...
I feel like they usually save this kind of slot for their pre-shows for like some NXT thing.
That would be rad. Really?
But no, no, no.
Brad.
It's literally R-Truth is pissed at or Stardust is pissed at R-Truth and wants to make his opinion known.
Well,
Okay.
let's give credit. At least there's things that happen all of a sudden on the pre-show that makes it special. Where it's like it's a pre-show. I mean, Renee Young's darling and everything, but it's like you need something else there besides just like the one match we don't care about. So to have some spontaneity is pretty good for its part. It has its own content.
Since you mentioned it, and this is a review show after all, I can't get past it without saying something, and this is as good a time as any. I don't like Renee's haircut.
Thank you.
Why do you have to go with little things? Why?
Thank you.
I would not be living up to my journalistic integrity standards if I didn't say something. Okay.
I was. Yeah, I'm in the. Yeah.
You're in a fucking tunnel because you're echoing.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, Renee.
You know what?
Renee,
She's there to be a voice and an important one at that. She doesn't need a hair. Her hair is fine. Okay, leave Renee
there's
Young
something
alone.
else.
Well, to Dean Ambrose, it's fine.
It looks like his haircut.
R-Truth picks up the victory. By the way,
You know how they say when couples are together long enough, they start to look like each other.
Hopefully, she doesn't develop a sort of smoker's voice.
Interesting. Because now I'm thinking of something and I don't know why. Our next match, of course, is the aforementioned Ascension versus Meta/Mega Powers match.
This should have been match of the night. It should have been.
This should have been a match of the something, but instead,
Like I love Damian Sandow, but we couldn't just hire Jay Lethal if we were gonna do this route for a gimmick.
They could have Jay Lethal and Sandow together.
I would be cool with that. I would be really fantastic with that.
Yep. Double the madness. I mean,
yeah.
awesome.
There's your next tag team champions right there.
Yeah, book it.
I just
Chris, book it. Make it happen.
Oh.
Do it.
No, there's really about as much to say about this match as there is about R-Truth versus Stardust.
Hold up,
It really was a forgettable match. It should have been so much better, but they're like, it's amazing how much of a black hole the Ascension and Curtis Axel are for charisma.
That was WWE creative right there. What Chris just said. Hey, do this thing that's really cool. No,
it's like the
No,
Ascension. The Ascension in NXT was this force of just pure destruction. They ripped through anybody they faced.
They're not given a chance to do anything on.
And now it's with the main roster. It's, well, here's a pair of shoulder pads. Go out and act like you're the Legion of Doom.
That's pretty much it. And they're not even given a chance to do that. They appear on main event.
and it's like, okay, the Ascension stunk on NXT, but they were really, really good at like the Paul Heyman standard: accentuate your positives, hide your negatives. NXT did a really, really good job of hiding those guys as negatives. Now, though, they're all over the place, and they're not given any material to help them. Just like hide that negative. It's like, wow, they stink, and when they talk, it doesn't help matters.
Well, Magpie, I mean, from that perspective, they kind of did what was done to them in NXT. The only positive that they really have on the main roster is the total elimination is their finish. So, and they got to do that, and that was about the only thing I remember in the match.
And even
I'm
then,
glad you
like
remember something, because I don't remember anything.
One of the guys sleeps the legs too slow, so by the time the other guy hits the goddamn clothesline, it's like, well, he's already halfway to the mat. You're sweeping at air at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I really feel like this is a match taken right out of like the 70s or 80s when they barely like touched each other. That's how I feel about this match. It was so slow paced, low impact. It was a relic. It happened about 30 years too late.
With people that were born 30 years ago, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how old was Curtis Axel? Like when the first, when Macho Man and Hulk Hogan were the shit.
Yeah, this isn't this is some sort of punishment gimmick for both of these guys, and I don't know why.
It's because Curtis Axel has no charisma.
Curtis Axel's the punishment. All right, Ms. All right, Damian Sandow, you want something else to do and exciting and new with your career? Here's Curtis Axel.
I think they're trying to see what all Damian Sandow can raise up because he really did do a lot to help the Miz. And now the Miz
didn't.
is
We
off
already
TV.
forgot he existed.
Who's the Miz?
How
Thank
dare you,
God,
motherfuckers, speak ill of the favorite son of Ohio?
Shut the hell up. Ohio stinks. Fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, The Miz.
That's two great things. We also got Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, the Buckeyes.
All right, so there's really not much to say, but I will point out one thing.
The Air and Space Museum.
They kept...
Oh, every town has an Air and Space Museum.
No, they don't. Not one with
I
a
have an
former
Air and
Air
Space
Force
Museum.
One. No, you.
San Diego has a fucking...
Shamu doesn't fly.
Moving on from this discussion, I will say one thing. They kept calling the meta powers the mega powers. And I'm like looking at I'm listening to this, I'm going, why are you guys calling them the mega powers when it's clearly they're advertised as the meta powers?
It's because they're fooling everyone, Iron Bite. Everyone truly believes that Randy Savage came back from the dead and de-aged, and Hulk Hogan stopped being completely charismatic.
It's like how the vaudevillains actually exist in black and white.
Okay. I'm going to actually buy that for now.
It gives us some explanation.
It's also kind of like how Hulk Hogan saw Sting in the mirror.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right, let's kick off the actual show.
Wait, isn't there something we forgot?
No?
No.
No, the Brie Bella talking about Daniel Bryan's injury and
Oh,
crying.
Oh, yes, because I can't... Because
Character development, Tiefus.
no.
Oh yes, there was a couple promos on this, and the one that strikes out the most is Brie Bella talking about Daniel Bryan's injury, because apparently the Bell twins are faces now.
Okay, so they're only faces when they face people with darker skin than them.
Yes.
That, or I think it revolves around Daniel Bryan being like, if he's not hurt, they can be bitches, but if he is, then suddenly we got to give sympathy because we remember that one of them is married to Bryan.
Yeah, but the other one's living with John Cena, the ultimate babyface, and she's going to be the biggest heel diva in the company, but she's sleeping with the biggest face of the company, and no one says anything. Everyone knows it.
Again, I'm not quite sure, but I think creative doesn't understand that women can be something other than bitches.
No,
I'm not even going to go that
they
far.
could
I'm
be
just
in
going
the
to say
kitchen.
because being a bitch would actually have personality.
That's true.
This is a complete lack of personality. It's like they do things because plot convenience. They do things because, well, this is your motivation for tonight. Well, how's that going to play my motivation for tomorrow night, and how's it come off my motivation for last night? Don't worry about it. This is your motivation for tonight. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work, and it would be much easier to invest in these characters if they actually gave them some character development and some character arc. And it's a shame you have to go to Total Divas to get that, and it doesn't even apply to this show.
I mean, and then you go to NXT, and it's very clear who's a face and who's a heel down there, unless you're talking about Charlotte, in which case, just assume she's a heel at all times.
Just like any Flair. Just assume they're heel.
Yes, just like any Flair, assume they're heel.
I will correct you, though, Iron Bite. Like, one former member of Creative basically came out and said that it's the direction that the producers, Vince and the rest of his sort of closer hands, give them as far as the women go. They have to be creative about them, but the direction they're given for the main shows is that, they're just very catty. Like, don't worry about babyface and heel. Just write them arguing with each other and fighting with each other. It's from the top. Like, there needs to be a sort of overhaul. Like, it's kind of like the tech division, except more dire, way more dire.
That's how you get testicles in the seats, damn it.
It's like
Well,
it's like
Vince-
real life, but it's wrestling. We can have good guys and bad guys. We don't need to be bitches just because it has to be like reality.
Well, Vince, I'm going to actually lock you in a room with a box of hand puppets because maybe your son-in-law can do a better job. What do you say about that, Vince? Come on, got nothing to say, huh?
I
I'm
would- I
sorry.
would like
I'm
to
looking
see-
for my cocaine. Where are you?
Would, would anybody would want to see that on the WWE Network though? Vince with hand puppets. Just
Anyone
for
got a
show?
credit card I can borrow?
You're the owner of a multi-billion-dollar industry. Why do you need to borrow somebody's credit card? Come on.
I
I'm
pay for everything and wiping my ass with dollar bills.
I'm truly sorry, listeners. We avoided the Bella Twins segment for a reason. It's discussions about them tend to devolve into stuff like this.
The
It
Bellas?
does.
I love the Bellas. Are they heel tonight? I don't even know what's going on. Where's the crack?
Right, so let's get into the show proper with Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, and once again, Dolph Ziggler does something stupid to himself. In this case, he now thinks he's Red Brown.
That's actually a pretty good characterization for Dolph in general.
Yeah, actually, he could probably scream like him too. Jesus, wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's got a bandana that's tying his hair back. He's wearing a jean vest.
I want to see him dressed up like Captain America now.
I just
he's
want to see.
basically a shrunken Red Brown with about as much charisma.
I don't know if that's meant to be an insult or a compliment, but
Yeah, me neither.
Actually, it's meant to be a compliment because, well, it's Red fucking Brown. And
okay, you're liking Reb Brown, ironically. Okay.
yeah,
Now, the only thing for him to do is for him to rev up for the zigzag and go. Ah!
or talk
So
about
what
Disneyland.
So what Iron Bite
Or,
said
or,
is like,
or on
he's
his
not
way to
just
the
rep-
ring, he gets on a forklift and just yells while he's driving it.
So Dolph Ziggler is pretty much just a resilient '80s hero at this point. That's his gimmick.
Who's very
And
civilized.
yeah, and
Oh my
by the
God,
way,
Red Brown.
yeah, it was pointed out to me on I was reading Spoonie's Twitter yesterday morning or something.
Who's Spoonie?
The
Who's
other
Spoon?
guy, the other guy who bitches about wrestling.
Who?
Never mind.
Dave Meltzer?
Yes, Dave Meltzer pointed that out. Ugh, you people. But yeah, no, it's like I'm looking at this and I went back to it. I did go back to it, and I was looking at this and I'm going, yeah, I could see it. I could see Red Brown as Dolph Ziggler, which is ironic because Sheamus is looking like something out of the 80s.
No, one of the Road Warrior henchmen.
No.
No?
The villain in the first Highlander movie. What was his name?
The Kurgan.
The Kurgan?
The Kurgan didn't have a mohawk.
No,
Yeah.
no. One of the stalkers from The Running Man.
Oh my god, yes. He does look like one of the stalkers from the
Turbo.
running. Oh,
He's-
Sheamus. Why did you do that to yourself?
Wait,
Right.
Turbo or Dynamo?
Dynamo. He's Dynamo. Dynamo had the mohawk, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but either way, like he's this was a solid match. This was the start of this pay-per-view's very good track record. A lot of good leg psychology from Sheamus to Dolph Ziggler, and some good sort of ducking and dodging and getting the better of the big man from Ziggler. Like when he early on in the match when Ziggler had Sheamus run shoulder first into the ring post.
I'll say he got the better part of the big man on his face.
Yep.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler towards the end there. I don't know if this was supposed to happen or if it's just like it was an accident. But Dolph opens himself up the hard way with a huge headbutt on Sheamus and just it was bad.
It was a rubbish Ronnie garbage style headbutt. And I know we could say that now that we're somewhat sponsored by OSW Review. Cha-ching.
We're not supposed to point it out.
Yeah, way to steal my line, asshole.
But at the same time, it was bad.
Dolph Ziggler used headbutt. It was not very effective.
No. because that would force Sheamus to use a. I wonder if they were meant to go on a little bit longer after this.
I'm pretty sure they were. I could have swore I heard them actually call it.
Yeah, so they called the match right then, right there, and
They were going to, but you could see blood like smearing pretty good on the mat. Like it was.
yeah. So
That was a good Red Cross worths amount.
yeah, and Ziggler goes to his knees to receive the brogue kick. So
Beautiful visual.
oh, it was beautiful. And again, I said this during the WCW review. This is a good showing of allowing your talent in the ring to change the script up on the fly, even if this was called in the back. It was still
even if it's just. Yeah, exactly. Even if it's just little subtle things, like how sometimes they'll throw Ambrose to ropes, they'll do the jawbreaker lariat and confuse you. But every once in a while, like say a Randy Orton or Kane would throw him, and then as soon as he goes for it, he's like, "No, fuck you, you're coming back," and then just punches him in the face.
We're getting
Or like
ahead
how-
of ourselves on that.
Well, what I mean is just like that example of like changing things up a bit, where it's like,
Yeah,
the
no, I
little
get
things you
that.
do in the match just tells a better story.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in a while. But
But I just use that as an example.
after Sheamus picks up the win with a bloody and battered Dolph Ziggler, we go backstage where Seth Rollins and J&J Security are confronting Kane.
Why do they confront bigger people?
Why J&J
That's
Security?
not going to work well for them.
J&J Security. Rollins is basically threatening Kane, and Kane's like, I still don't need this job. This job means nothing to me. I'm a success. I've got money in the bank. I don't need this, but I like this job. So as they're threatening one another, Kane, Rollins, comes right out and asks, "So am I gonna get your decision?" And he's like, "Trust me, you'll be the first to know." And then J&J Security steps up. And it's so funny to watch these two try to get in Kane's face. Because I'm pretty sure they'd have to do Mecha Shiva to get in Kane's face.
Iron Bite with the Venture Brothers reference. That's beautiful.
I know. I had to.
Mecha Shiva.
Oh, it was great.
Mecha Shiva. Kane looks at Seth Rollins. Why the fuck are they doing that?
I don't know.
And he just pulls a
doing it.
Brock Lesnar and goes, or a Brock Sampson and goes, "Don't encourage them."
It's like, I found that to be the funniest part of that promo.
Not as funny though. It's just like not as funny as when Jamie Noble was trying to talk up to Triple H, and then just Triple H just stood there, just poised as ever. Like, I don't have to do anything, and I can make you feel inferior just by standing.
Yeah. So after a promo for NXT Unstoppable on the WWE Network, which you can get for $9.99.
Shut the fuck up! No.
Nobody isn't here, so I had to chill. We get we get the match that we all were kind of excited for. The WWE Tag Team Championship Best of 3 Falls. The New Day with Xavier Woods versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd with Natalya.
All right, guys. Leaving aside how great this match turned out, did anyone know that it was 2 or 3 falls before the pay-per-view began?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't watch weekly.
Yeah, I actually... I mean, I don't watch weekly, but I do watch.
Yeah, I did see what you tried to do there, where you just said Xavier Woods, wink, wink.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll get to that in a second. But before
Xavier
the match
would
even
get to that in a second.
Before the match even starts, we get a promo from the New Day,
Beautiful.
and it was just this is awesome. All right.
I'll never complain about Big E Langston getting a microphone. I'm never going to complain about that ever.
I'm also not going to complain about the Baltimore Orioles being involved in a promo. Because that is...
Baltimore doesn't have a sports team.
Yeah. So it's like they cut a promo, and it's just basically the basic New Day. This is how we win. We think positive. And I'm
They're
just
working with Bo
thinking,
Dallas?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
He's the black heart of that group.
I don't see.
my
Oh
God,
my
no.
god, really? Oh. Oh wow. So the match starts with Kofi Kingston and Tyson Kidd. So you're not gonna. This isn't actually gonna be a, bad start to it. And the action is pretty much fast and furious. It's and there's quick tags to everybody. There's psychology going on. You got Xavier Woods running around in ringside, just screaming, "Think positive." You
Oh
got
my
Natalia.
Yeah, Xavier Woods was a constant presence throughout the match, and he was perfect. Like, he is starting to shine as a talent. Like, it's not so much that they didn't use him very very well before, but now he's in a position where he could do whatever the hell he wants. Oh, great during this match.
And we'll get to we will definitely get to Xavier Woods and Natalia. Just standing there looking like Natalia, which is
Speaking of
Magpie's
great
crush.
visuals, Natalia's ring gear.
Yeah,
Wow. I'm not like a big fan service fan at all, but she was looking
Damn.
great. That was I mean, not trashy or anything. Just a damn good outfit on her.
it wasn't
She and Steph go to the same tailor.
dominatrix gear. Yeah, they definitely do. But I think they're taken in because there was room, but there wasn't much room. Unlike Stephanie, who left a lot of room, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the end of the first fall, and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro hit the swing drop kick, which
The KRS one.
wasn't as
Helicopter.
impressive as it
Ironbite, you're breaking up there. Ironbite, stop.
As it usually
Ironbite.
is.
Oh no,
Stop.
he's becoming
But
self-aware.
it's enough to put away
Someone drop him from the
Listen
call
for the
until he
first fall.
stops.
Becoming self-aware.
and
Ironbite didn't
immediately
get any of that. Stop talking. Okay, you break it up.
On
God.
May 19th, on May 19th at 4:01 p.m., Iron Bite became
Oh
self-aware.
no, it's May 19th.
And Jacob Goodnight has a 3-foot-long penis.
No, and it's hooked at the end like a meat hook.
So first fall goes to Kid and Cesaro.
Now, first fall goes to Jacob Goodnight because Ironbite's dead.
Yeah, but
I think he's still talking. It just says he's like trying to be in the call, but he's not. I'm sorry for the
He's
sidebar
going.
here, but this is entertaining.
He's still going. I bet you he'll come back and he'll still be on the same stupid tangent.
And he'll be like, "So, what did you guys think of the match?"
But yeah, one of the things that Xavier Woods tried to do throughout the match was like involve himself as another tag entrant, shouting "Freebird rules" throughout it. But the ref wasn't having any of that shit.
Real quick, I made a joke.
The ref
I made
disagreed. He is not a fan of P.S. Michael Hayes.
I made a joke a long time ago about how the only reason they brought back the Freebird rule was because that Vince couldn't tell the difference between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. But after the finish of this match, I'm fucking convinced that was actually the reason.
Right. But I mean, and also after the first fall, I guess like the big moment of psychology occurred as Cesaro was hanging on the apron and then Big E speared him through it. By this point, the crowd's chanting, "This is awesome," and Xavier Woods shouts, "I'm well aware! I'm well aware!"
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great at involving the crowd.
well,
All the
Oh,
years
shit,
in
he's
show choreography
back.
paid off.
yes, I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I went to the microwave zone.
Are
Why
you
did
a
our-
zombie?
Why did our rating suddenly go down?
Did Jacob Goodnight's penis hit you?
God damn it. Where are we, by the way?
Trying to figure out if Jacob's
We're in an
good
abandoned
is-
hotel with a bunch of at-risk kids trying to clean it up for community service.
What, the penis?
Oh my god, are we really making a See No Evil joke?
Look what day it is.
Oh, it is! Wow. Alright, what fall are we at?
But don't worry about See No Evil. We'll get to the John Cena match later.
Yeah, we will. In 2 matches.
You guys may think that we're dating this episode. We may specifically say it's on May 19th, but you don't know what year it is.
And you can listen to it anytime you want. It's not live. It is dead like my soul. Iron Bite at
Okay.
WrestleMania on May 19th.
We
You
gotta-
will rest in peace.
Goddamn, we got to put this match over more. Like we're being indulgent.
We kind of are.
I'm just excited about Xavier Woods. No, seriously, he was a great hype man for the match. Really,
And-
like just interacting with the crowd, kept them into it. I mean, this is a good, solid technical match from start to finish. Technically speaking, it had some great spots in it.
And I really
And
did care
the
about
finish-
every
But the fans would not have been. They still would have been into it, I'm sure, but they would not have been into it near as much without Xavier Woods bouncing from ring barrier to ring barrier, just interacting with everybody.
Yeah,
But anyway, the match goes on.
New Gay get a fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
New Day does get get a fall with a amazing tag team move where Tyson Kidd gets put on Big E's shoulders, and then Kofi comes off the top rope with a nice leg drop.
No,
And-
I'll take issue with this one spot because the way Tyson was up on Big E's shoulders was like a inverted suplex where his legs were up in the air, that kind of hold. And when
Okay.
Kofi came off the top, he basically put his hands on Tyson's thigh and gently pushed, and it looked weak. That was like
Yeah.
the one lackluster spot of the match. I mean, you had other spots where Kofi leapt over, or no, wait, was it Kofi or Tyson Kidd leapt over the other big guy?
No,
think-
Tyson Kidd did the homicide suicide dive. Kofi just jumped over another guy.
Okay, Kofi jumped over Big E trying to ram him through the ropes. It was just a beautiful match. Like the suicide dive, just the technical stuff. The psychology was great.
yeah. After the fall that the New Day, Cesaro finally gets his hot tag and I guess takes him to Uppercut City, cunt. And
Oh, good lord, uppercut city. It's just, let me take you to this corner, uppercut. Let me take you to this corner, uppercut. Let me take you to this corner, uppercut. Let me take you to that corner, uppercut. Let me take you back to this corner, uppercut.
You're out of corners. You're done.
surprise, surprise, it got it.
No, it's not an
over-
octagon.
just getting over on the big stage.
Yeah, it was definitely something that that got everybody's attention. But as we get to the end of the match, there's something going on with Xavier Woods.
Mhm.
He's getting up on the apron. He's getting off the apron. He's taking his vest off. He's putting his vest on.
He starts speaking Jamaican.
He stops speaking Jamaican.
He starts
And-
speaking Ganon.
He stops speaking Ghana, and
He starts
as
speaking Big E's.
he stops speaking Big E's, which by the
He
way
starts
is just
speaking French Canadian.
okay. Stop.
He starts speaking Swiss.
And all of a sudden, as everybody goes over a rope because reasons, Woods jumps in and performs twin magic on Cesaro.
Because in WWE, black people look the same.
Especially when they look like Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, apparently.
That was like the most racist thing I've ever seen WWE do.
And
And
yet,
I was there for the Triple H Booker T feud.
as was I,
Yeah,
and yet it worked.
It did.
It worked. Twin
horrible
magic
people.
actually worked. And
Magic.
and Xavier just gets the hell out of Dodge, puts his vest back on, and is crawling up the ring with the rest of the ramp with the rest of the New Day, celebrating their win, and he's wearing one of the tag team belts.
They're gonna have to play a lot of Martin Luther King clips next year for Black History Month to make up for this.
They probably are, and everybody cannot believe this, but it's like, hey, we thought positive.
Hey, if one guy had 2 poofs on his head, the other guy only had 1. What's the deal, ref?
What? They had poofs? I don't
Yeah,
pay
like their
attention
hair
to
was
men's
up in like.
Listen. I don't pay attention to men's hairstyles. That's gay. And I'm not. I'm straight. I was looking at Natalia.
Well, now you're just being a hater. Because their hair was fabulous.
Anyways, we go backstage where Ryback is talking about Bray Wyatt in a feud.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, because why is this feud happening? Why is this even happening? Tell me that.
Because they needed to get them on the show.
They were amused by putting Ryback in front of a teleprompter and having him say more words than "feed me more." I guess.
I don't know.
It's an elaborate in joke about like having a guy that big knowing what the secret is and quoting it.
First rule of the secret is you do not talk about the secret.
Second rule of the secret: you actually know what the secret is.
Third rule of the secret: if you haven't heard the secret before, it's your turn to talk about the secret.
4th rule of the secret: Xavier Woods started speaking Spanish, then he stopped speaking Spanish. Going on. I'm sorry. Bad. I'm done.
So as we had that little Ryback promo because, why not? And we come out to the new face of fear versus Ryback. And
I really gotta say, it's a bad omen whenever you call anything the new anything in wrestling.
Especially since the old face of fear is sitting at home in Texas watching Michelle McCool bounce around in a bikini.
Don't you love, too, how they have, like, he's the new face of fear, so he gets his own special graphic when his name gets called, like The Undertaker. It's not like Raw presents Bray Wyatt. No, Bray Wyatt has fireflies.
Bray Wyatt is the Scarecrow. Like, he's the new face of fear, even though he lost to the old face of fear.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was pointing out. And, however, the match itself was solid.
It was.
It was.
Would you expect anything less, really?
Well, it's Ryback, so yes.
Like him or hate him, Ryback is solid in the ring. He really is.
I'll give him that, but he's
good. He's better when he's just a guy that can get kicked rather than a guy doing things. I do not trust him to be both initiator and guy taking move.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he is kind of a one-dimensional ass-kicking machine. That's about all he's meant to be.
Like, I'm just picturing this match on paper as these two running into each other. It was better than that, but that's exactly what I'm expecting because I'm just like, well, this guy, the face sucks at initiating.
I mean, when I think of like perfect Ryback booking, I think of Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds, but with a speakable IQ. That's how I want my Ryback.
That was wow. Well said.
Interesting.
So we got Red Brown and Ogre. 80s icons unite. They were a tag team for a minute.
So as we're saying, this is a solid match. You got Bray Wyatt doing his usual.
I'm scary.
And Ryback doing the.
I'm big.
And when these two get together. And when these two get together, wackiness happens. But it's more along the lines of big guy versus big guy, and
someone broke him not even really being that big of a guy.
Yeah, no, he's not that. I mean, he's average for Vince's ideal.
Yeah.
But
I think he's got that Ferrari engine.
Yeah, Wyatt and Ryback again have a very good cycle. Very sound, very solid match, and. One of the things that stood out to me is as towards the end, Ryback goes for shell shock, and Wyatt is able to wiggle and waggle and make his way back to the corner and get to the ropes, which is going to stop anybody's move who happens to be on the shoulders. Grabs the top turnbuckle and yanks it off, exposing the steel beneath it, which we'll get into in a second. And once Ryback puts him down, it's, well, Ryback, enjoy steel. Hits Sister Abigail, and that's the win.
I thought that sequence was pretty nice.
It was a great sequence towards the end. And I'm not going to...
Does anybody remember Ryback flying?
Yes, right. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
One of the spots that Ryback did was a splash. Almost a frog splash. Almost a 5-star frog splash.
No, I'd say that was about 2 stars.
It didn't even get a star.
If that didn't do anything else good, it was that like it at least sort of showed that like he did a high risk move and it further affected his ribs.
and he's trying to think outside the box.
Which okay, that's fine. I'll give you that. I'll give you.
I'd give Ryback for thinking outside the bun for a change. I mean,
yeah.
For thinking outside the Panera Bread bun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Panera. The word Panera is not funny, Chris.
No, but they make such good sandwiches.
You shut your whore mouth.
Sweet.
Now let's talk about Cena not saying "I quit" ever.
I quit. I'm done. See you guys next week.
Before that, though, we do have a couple promos. One for Money in the Bank, one for the Stone Cold podcast, and
which is back, by the way.
Yeah, because there's no scheduling conflicts.
Yep.
And we have
Damn
the I
Dixie
Quit
Carter.
match. We have our I Quit match. John Cena versus Rusev with Lana. And we'll get to Lana in a second because I actually do kind of agree
Stop
with
foreshadowing everything.
I have to foreshadow.
No.
It's my gimmick. United States Championship.
That doesn't even go with Iron Bite.
Oh,
What
it's
the
my
hell
other
is an
gimmick.
Iron Bite anyway? Let's talk about that.
No,
Let's
it's not. Oh, stop.
Because that's the origins of me. And you don't want to hear the origins of me. They're boring.
I agree with Iron Bite. I don't want to hear anything about them.
The Rusev, as the match begins, Rusev grabs the mic and starts screaming about how, half the people in the arena hate you. Just say, I quit. And the match is over. And I was like, wow, that's shorter than it had to be.
Wow,
Yeah,
Cena
that
compromised
match had
faster than I thought.
So so that was the match. Let's move on to
Oh god, this.
Does
match
anybody
is
else hate this fucking thing that they have when the heels will grab the mic and cut a promo, and at the very end of it they'll say "I quit" during an "I quit" match?
I think technically this match had not started just yet.
Oh, it hadn't.
No, not.
The bell had wrong.
They actually got it right this time.
If that did happen the way Iron Bite did it, would that if a referee is smart enough, could he automatically just call the match? Yeah, he said I quit. It was a promo. You said it.
You said I quit.
What happened was the bell keeper used the tried and true Rock method of writing his lines on his arm. She's like, Rusev promo, then bell. So
I mean, again, we've had this happen where the match will start and then the heel will cut the promo. At least this time they didn't.
Yeah.
But
so already it's better than 50% of I Quit matches.
And then, well, the match itself. Every time a move would be hit, or preceding a move at times, the referee would walk up to whoever's being beaten at that point and ask them, do you quit?
This is so you don't confuse it with any other match. You don't want people thinking it's a steel cage match or a handicap match or something on a pole match.
You don't want them to think that they're not giving the person the chance to catch their breath.
Yeah, but the difference herein is that they did it in the beginning of the match within 3 minutes or so having passed, and they did it every 30 seconds. You hit a spot, you quit. You hit a spot, you quit. Sorry, Mike Chioda, but you're almost like John Laurinaitis. I miss when you had a mullet in 1994.
And it's every single spot.
For comparison's sake, though, just to put this match in perspective, even though they got that start right, they'll get things wrong later on. They do things goofy. That one criticism you already said, it applies to an I Quit match. You would not think it applies to one of the greatest ones of all time.
Let's see.
Randy Orton, John Cena.
Nope.
Randy Orton, John Cena 2?
No.
Randy Orton, John Cena 3 on Raw.
I hate
How many Randy Orton, John Cena I Quit matches have we had?
Well, are we counting?
I don't even think that there's
matches?
been a Randy Orton, John Cena I Quit match. I think they're just being assholes.
Carry the 3.
It was The Rock versus Mankind. The Rock yelled, "Say I quit" at Mankind over and over again while hitting him with chair shots during the match.
Rock?
Yeah, but that was
The Rock.
Okay. So the crowd starts chanting, "We want Lana," because of course they do, and Rusev gets angry at this because this is his new gimmick. For now.
I hate you, Lana. I'm gonna yell at you, and then
so he screams at Lana, and he grabs a steel chair, unfolds it, plants it down, and says, "Plant your ass right in front of Jerry Lawler, now."
With his menacing gaze.
Do it now. Okay.
He's got motion sensors. He'll see that thing moving.
And she sits down, and he's like, "Good," and gets back in to continue.
You gotta do it right, Ironbite. You gotta speak in Russian. He said "Das bueno."
That's not Russian. That's not even Spanish.
He just mixed two different languages into one.
Two different languages that don't even share a single family. Oh my god.
One was German.
The bueno. The
Ichiban
bueno.
Mein Kampf.
Oh, Tiefus. Oh, Tiefus.
Can we go with one episode without referencing Mein Kampf?
Yeah. As we have
Just Cristo, buongiorno.
Cena's gonna get his ass kicked for about 5 minutes here, and eventually Rusev asks Lana to give him the Russian flag, then go sit back down.
You're not allowed to move. Give me that flag. Stop moving.
And as he's waving it around and around, I go, so is he gonna plant it firmly up John Cena's ass now?
He's gonna literally
Cena.
Oh, I invite. Oh my, Rusev Udria, Rusev Machka.
What the hell was that?
That was Russian, I believe.
Or Tolo Man?
No. There wasn't enough Spanish for that to be Russian.
So, as Lana goes back to her seat, Cena wakes up and it's
activate.
Yeah, Cena powers activate. He hits the 3 moves of doom. Rusev counters.
He's downgraded.
Yeah. Well, it was just one shoulder block. So,
this time in 2018, he's only going to be allowed to punch.
Yeah. Rusev counters the AA and then just continues to beat on Cena until they go outside the ring where Rusev. Oh, Lord. You know that spot where people will set up a ladder or a table in the corner? Rusev thinks those things are too flimsy. He put the steel steps in the corner, asked the ref to ask Cena. Cena says no. Rusev throws Cena into the steps in the corner. Yeah.
They go through the barricade. They go up the ramp. I think they go out into the crowd at one point, too.
Yeah, they did. Actually, one of the spots that I do like was Cena hits the AA on Rusev on the steel steps, and the ref is asking him, Rusev is gasping for air. He can't utter a word. And the commentators are going to play this up. If your opponent can't say no, they have to say the words "I quit." That's something that they were bringing up. And if you can't say the words "I quit," the match will never end.
more
The
on
logic
This match
there is
felt like it didn't end. Like right now, it feels like we're talking about it too longer than we
taking
actually
too long.
should. And the match
believe-
is
Bye.
the match made me feel like that when I watched it. That's what I'm saying.
Ugh.
Yeah, because of the constant referee interruptions and.
And there's really only two moments I really care to touch on for the rest of it.
All right, well, hit him.
I mean, if that's okay with you guys to speed it along, because you know we're missing
fine.
much on these.
We have to. I want to get to the end. I do want to
Okay.
get to the end.
Okay, then the one spot I want to talk about, because the other one's the end. They're up the ramp, and Umaga Jr. there discovers fire.
Oh, this spot.
He looks
right
over
here.
and he sees the pyro set up on the stage, and he looks over at where the wire's running. He follows the wire to the controls, and he looks at the controls and presses a button, and a firework goes off, and he just gets this big dumbass grin on his face,
Yep.
like ah, yeah,
Ooh.
he makes
Soviet
fire.
Russia, fire is the rare thing.
So he goes to grab John Cena to throw him into the pyro, but John Cena powers out of it, throws him into the pyro, which goes off without being set off.
Yeah.
That's how pyro works. And then Umaga rolls off the pyro.
You mean Rusev?
Yeah, same thing. At this point, it's the same
They
damn.
both have barefoot. They're the same thing.
I mean, I hear he's
Yeah.
in the market for a new manager. Someone call Armando.
He's going like, yes,
He's going,
I'm back,
yes,
baby.
yes.
I'm back."
He's going, da, da, da.
But, and yeah, and again, the ref goes up and asks Rusev, so do you quit? And he's screaming in pain.
So and if you think about it, they just put Rusev over Undertaker because Undertaker got hit with a firework and went on to work a match. Rusev's just been put through a match, gets laid out in the middle of fireworks, and still doesn't quit.
Yeah, it
Rusev, the new face of fear.
and so they get back into the ring, and well, Rusev crushes,
It's the new
Puts
face
the,
of Jamal.
puts the accolade on John Cena, forcing John Cena to pass out, and thinks he won. And he
Did anyone
points this
explain
out.
to this foreigner how things work in America?
And the commentators are like, well, if John Cena can't say the words "I quit," the match continues. And
Did you
Rusev
think-
is like, "No, I won. I'm gonna start I'm gonna start helping the ring crew because this is what I do." He starts taking the top turnbuckle apart.
Do you think Rusev like honestly tried to book a last man standing match, but he said the wrong? He read the stipulations and just thought it was some.
Don't play into the stupid thing.
Yeah. No.
No,
So-
I'm gonna play into it. I'm gonna go
Oh.
cave.
I will
Oh my
beat you
lord.
with your own shoe.
So as after Russo takes one of the top rope off, he goes and grabs a water bottle, takes a swig, and then pours it all over John Cena because, as we all know,
Cena's powered by water.
yes, and this wakes John Cena up.
You know, this is what this kind of reminds me of the white trash dumbass neighborhood kids, who I swear to God, Sunday afternoon when I went to take the trash out, were out there with bottles of water, taking swigs and spitting on each other.
Teef is
So-
complaining about neighborhood kids.
Get off my lawn, Magpie.
So he then goes to put the accolade back on Cena with the top rope, and Cena drops him into the STF and starts bending him in half with the top rope. And he starts screaming
Because the rope adds another layer of submission to it.
I love how rope equals extra pain.
And at this point, we get into the part
He's
of the
got a roll
match.
of cotton now. This is going to be all over soon.
Yeah, as Cena's bending Rusev back, Rusev is starting to scream out something in Bulgarian. Of course, the referee, not being bilingual or knowing anything other than English, can't understand what's he's saying. And Lana gets on the ring apron, gets into the ring and starts screaming, "He quits! He quits! He quits!" And this is the part where we had a little debate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to bring this up because JBL immediately goes, can this happen? And I'm going to say, yes, it can. Because Lana is technically Rusev's manager. She speaks for Rusev.
But
So
Rusev is in the match, incapable of speaking,
And the words "I quit," which was explained to him by his translator.
which he said clearly at the start of the match, so he knows how to say it. He knows
And
what he has to
and
say.
was contractually explained to him by his manager, his translator, that this is how you say "I quit," and probably on the agreement of that agreement, contractually obligated to explain it to him in English.
Well,
But
further complicating the matters is that someone translated what he said after,
You found it. I was just looking for that. Thank you.
Yeah, and he said, no, I give up. Next time we will crush you. I give up. Stop. I told you. I'll crush you, Cena. Damn your old mother, Cena. I will crush you. That's enough. I told you.
he said that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
So he did say, I quit.
No, he didn't. He didn't say I quit.
He just said it in Bulgarian.
No. Even in Bulgarian, he didn't say, quote unquote, I quit.
He did not say Ya quitayu.
But
He looked up how to say
He
it.
did not say, I'll quito.
wow. But essentially he was saying, I give up, I quit, I quit, I quit.
No, he said I give up. He did not say I quit.
Da,
Huh.
bueno.
Echo.
Yeah, there was an echo. Huh.
Oh, I get an echo.
Oh, that's okay. That's interesting. In a way, Lana did tell the ref, summed up what he was screaming, so I don't know. All in all, though, this was a pretty good I Quit match, even if we did talk about it too long. But
Well, I mean, there still is something to be said. Like, I feel like I'm talking on behalf of No Leaf. I'm sorry if I misrepresent his words, but like, it's a match where Rusev like gets over by sheer wrestling ability, being as tough as possible, being as strong as possible against Cena. And all Cena does is do a bunch of like really kind of like it may be no DQ, but what he does is very like he uses weapons. He's like the final boss in that club fight, Nongbak, who doesn't actually use his fists or his feet or his body. He uses fucking weapons. It's weird. It's a very weird dynamic.
If we could go back and get the audio from that match, I could tell you right now if he said it. Because according to Google Translate, the word for I quit in Bulgarian is napuskam.
you know what? I would actually like to hear if he did actually said I quit.
I wouldn't. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on because we're gonna skip the payback panel because that's just gonna erupt into a debate about Renee Young's haircut.
You leave her alone. She worked
No,
right
this time we're
hard.
worried about where Braxton Miller is.
Well, Brian Saxton is in the back where the New Day is celebrating with
Did you
glass
just
of
like
milk.
Brian?
This fucking promo. Let me tell you about how genius this fucking promo is, and by genius I mean relative to the medium. Xavier, the New Day come in with champagne glasses full of milk. Xavier Woods starts by saying, you see, this all makes sense. We don't spit, we don't curse, we don't complain. They celebrate, yada yada. Byron Saxton announces that for the first time ever, there will be an Elimination Chamber match on May 31st for the tag titles.
But first, they say, yeah, we know about the Intercontinental Championship. We know about this.
Yes.
Well, do you also know about the Tag Team Championship? And Big E immediately does a spit take.
He spits out his milk.
And all through this, they keep trying to sip their milk, but they keep getting cut off.
Xavier Woods says, what the hell is
casually,
this?
very subtly.
Says,
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah, they start doing exactly what they said they weren't doing.
My spit take was way better than theirs. I'm sorry.
It
They're
was.
like, what are we supposed to do? All three of us fit into one pod?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They said that.
I know that. But that was my line. I was like, wait, what?
Because at this point, it had not been revealed yet if it was going to be a 6-man tag team elimination match or a 12-man elimination thing. Or
It's
I don't
12.
know.
They've got 6 tag teams. Don't ask me where they dug these people up, but they've got 6 tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
That Demolition? No, that's just the Ascension.
Oh, okay. So we have our next match, which is the Bella Twins versus Naomi and Tamina Snuka. Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm glad
bullshit.
the WWE is embracing alternative couples.
That's bullshit, though. I mean, how come the Bella Twins didn't get booked for the Elimination Chamber? They're the most deserving tag team.
Maybe it's because of what's between their legs.
Can we just ignore Iron Bite making the sex jokes right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you,
Bella
Iron Bite,
Twins,
for that answer.
Yeah, Bella Twins versus Naomi and Tamina Snuka, and somebody pointed out last night, why is Tamina and Naomi teaming up? And the reason is the Usos.
Because profit.
Because
Yeah.
Samoa.
Yes, because
And
apparently
that actually does make sense.
yeah, it does. It actually does, and I'm glad they're giving Tamina something to do.
Well, she was
Which is
just
be a
out with
bodyguard again.
Yeah,
injury.
but
She was just out with injury too, so I mean, that's not like
Yes.
they didn't want to have her doing something. They just
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but
could put her on commentary while she's injured. Just saying.
so it's so this is actually one of the more competent Divas matches that I've seen, and maybe it's because the Bella Twins are absorbing through osmosis.
I think it's because Jimmy Snuka was there in spirit.
And yeah, wait, Jimmy Snuka is dead?
No, he's not.
Okay then. Maybe it's because Tamina and is took charge of this. Maybe it's something else. I don't know, but it was actually
Maybe it's Maybelline.
solid. Maybe it was where they at, because for whatever reason, every match has been very solid, and I thought, well, this is the match that they're gonna botch. They're gonna have bad spots, and I'm like, no.
I will take issue with one of the things you said there, that I don't think it's that Tamina was there that made the match good. Not that she made it worse or anything like that. I think it's that all four of them are solid competitors these days.
Yeah, which when the Bella Twins first came in, did we actually say that about them?
Nope.
We talked about the Bella Twins when they came in?
Yeah, we did.
We were very critical of the Bella Twins when they first came to WWE.
Yeah, we were. We were super critical.
Thank
I thought
God.
they were just there.
Thank God they saw more to this than just looking pretty. Because
Yeah.
they're actually worth having now. Now if we could just get them to take some acting lessons.
Yeah, I'd like that, and actually have a creative that gives a damn about heel face, because the Bella Twins are your face team. And again, my comment was, wait, the Bella Twins are face?
Loser.
When did that happen?
Loser.
Oh, that's perfect face acting. Thank you, Nikki.
Loser.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Just out of curiosity, do you ever go over John Cena?
Stop stealing my joke. I'm not telling you the rest of the joke to make that make sense.
Yeah. Professionalism.
Yeah,
Yay.
stealing jokes. That's
Okay.
professional.
So, I have never actually seen the rear view. And after Payback, I never want to see the rear view ever again.
I knew you were gay.
No. I'm sorry, but a jumping butt to the face.
Yeah, any move involving a butt that doesn't involve Rikishi, I'm good without.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey,
And
guys,
even then,
you have
even
to
then,
harness
in
the power of your
moderation.
ass.
Yeah, even then, I'm with Tifus on that moderation. But
Moderation. When was the last time we had an ass-based finisher in the WWE? Let's let Naomi have it.
The Chloe Tush push.
What?
You heard me. The Chloe Tush.
okay.
Oh, actually, no. Kelly.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, God.
The Chloe Tush push, though, was Tori Wilson's dog.
Interesting.
She had her own superstar page.
Huh. Interesting. So there's nothing really that stands out about this match up till the ending, where
Vince McMahon likes butt jokes.
yeah, we know that. Where Tamina just basically murders Brie Bella into the ring barricade, and then Naomi just tosses Nikki off the top rope, and Naomi and Tamina pick up the win. And again, there's nothing really that we can say about this match other than it's solid, but it's not very memorable. At least to me.
If there was some actual build and rhyme and reason to motivations and stuff like that,
Other than
it
catty
would be an
bitches.
entertaining match.
Yeah.
As it was, there was no psychology to build off going into the match, so there wasn't any psychology. So it was just a good, solid technical match.
The Bella Twins do like to go ah a lot. They just yell in their matches like ah.
Not
Yeah.
any more than anyone else. I'm so tired of that criticism of divas being thrown out there, knockouts, or any women's wrestler.
I'm not. I just noticed they do it a lot. Just
I don't
the,
think they do it.
"Ah!"
I don't think they do it any more than any of the guys do. I think it's just it's more.
Here's
It's more
why I noticed.
noticeable.
Here's why I notice them more because they can't really do an emotion with their ah.
No, Tifus, this is a different issue that you're thinking about. He's not saying that they screech like the complaints that you had to bat away like 2-3 years ago. It's true. Like Nikki will say be prepping for the rack attack, and before she hits it, she'll go like ah, like it's.
Oh, okay. So she yells like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Yeah.
like
Or like I am Wonder Woman.
I
Ah.
was going to say on that other thing, the only reason I would think it would stand out more than the guys doing, because I noticed the guys do it too, but it stands out more when women do it because they're up a few octaves. So it stands out. But with what you're saying, yeah, no, that's true. They do that. But you know what? At least they're trying to get the crowd into the match, you know?
Yeah, I'm not blaming them for that. I'm just pointing out they like to go ah a lot.
Speaking of which, you know who I can't wait to see in a ring
Who?
when she comes back?
Who?
Eva Marie.
So we go to the back
she's
where
been training with what's his name, Spanky.
Yeah, Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
So we go to the back where an upset Lana is sitting down and Rusev is pacing and yelling in Bulgarian, and then he tells Lana twice to get out.
I forgot who asked me, but it's like, what do you think Rusev's saying in Bulgarian right now? You're a cunt, you're a cunt, you're a cunt.
If you heard the word suka, then you know what he's saying.
Yeah. And then he just tosses a chair into the wall, and it's like, please don't damage the Baltimore arena. Please don't damage this arena.
It's a riot!
Oh, God. So we go to footage for Raw because Daniel Bryan is the biggest story. Yeah, they're still milking this. And we have King Barrett versus the man who forgot about... No, the man Gravity forgot.
I'll say this. For as much as they're milking Daniel Bryan, that makes me think it's a work.
Yeah, this is my biggest issue with this thing. It's like, I know he's hurt. We all know he's hurt, but...
I honestly think they brought him back that on the condition that if what he tried to do to fix his injury didn't work, he'd take time off to get the surgery he should have gotten in the first place.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening. So I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're just milking it way too much.
Yeah. So yeah, we have King Barrett versus the man Gravity forgot.
A
Neville.
Welshman as a king? No.
Wait, Wade Barrett's Welsh?
No, he's not.
He's English. He's British.
Yeah,
he's English.
He's not.
Mason Ryan was Welsh.
I've completely lost my train of thought. Let me restart. So we have King Barrett versus Neville. Okay, good. I didn't lose that much track up next. And these two worked very well together.
Yeah,
very well. The psychology was sound.
I think Neville's Welsh.
No, he's from Newcastle upon Tyne. You call him a Geordie.
Oh, okay.
A Geordie as a king? No.
He's a LaForge?
There we go. Now that joke makes sense.
He's a LaForge?
Shut up.
He's a LaForge? Eh? LaForge?
Really?
Okay, I'm done.
Anyways, again,
We're getting our
solid
producer
match.
mad. This is great.
Solid match. Good psychology. Neville looks like $1 million. Barrett looks like him, his usual pay-per-view self. The story they tell in the ring is clear and precise up to the end. By the way, any spots that stand out to you guys?
I just really like how Neville. I wouldn't complain that I've seen this match a lot, and I've seen it again in the Raw after. But they've done a very good job of just like mixing up everything that they do. Where I'm just like, oh, cool, it's a different thing I'm seeing entirely. And that's a credit on to Neville. Good for him.
Yeah.
I think I kind of like Neville just because while he does have some of those higher risk moves that usually require a bit more of a setup than most moves do, he doesn't make the setup for them obvious in most cases.
Yeah. It definitely works for him. Barrett again.
619, you know?
Yeah, Barrett again looks good. I'm not sure why he's King Barrett, because we all know that the King of the Ring win is a punishment gimmick, but it works for Barrett. And
because he really knows how to just like talk down to people and give you the look like, why are you breathing my air?
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. I'm going with that one. I'm definitely going with that. Thank you, Magpie. You've actually crystallized why this gimmick works well for Barrett.
Yeah.
So Barrett goes to. I guess this hurts more because if you flip your elbow pad to the red portion, he's gonna go for the Royal Bullhammer, but Neville's like, no, get out of the ring.
See, I always thought that the whole flipping it to the red was a sort of elbow variation on the trope red eyes take warning. Eh?
Oh. I get what you're saying.
You really reached deep for that reference.
I don't get it.
Neither do I. Moving on.
So the finish comes where but in the middle of the match, Neville jumped out of the ring and may have hurt his leg, but not so bad that he can't, hit some flying forearms. And they both go out, and Neville gets back in, but Barrett's like, "Go take a breather. Let me get a second." And the ref counts him out.
It's like, you know what? I didn't even want to be in this match in the first place. I'm going to go back.
Yeah, that's basically it. Mm-hmm. And Neville's like, well, damn, I didn't really beat him. Oh, well. And then Barrett comes right back in to, bash and slam Neville because, hey, you might have won, but I didn't lose.
And then Neville, in the middle of that, getting the crap kicked out of him, grabs him from behind, and all of a sudden, Barrett is not touching the ground. He's actually suspended, and then is fucking thrown. It was a thing of beauty.
It was the best delay. It was a delayed German suplex. How often do you see a delayed German suplex?
I don't know, but it was beautiful.
The amount of body control Neville has is just amazing. I'm looking at and I actually like the replay more of this than the Red Arrow that followed it, because it's like
he just held him at an odd angle too. It wasn't even a.
Yeah, it was just like boom. Oh wait, hey, hold on a second.
Like,
hold on, and now here's the rest of the German suplex.
I just defied momentum. Fuck you, gravity.
Fuck you, physics.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's LaForge.
That's his first gimmick. That's his first T-shirt. Fuck you, gravity. If you're Neville.
His first. No, I'm not going to make that joke. Never mind.
Yeah. So after a tough enough submission video happens.
Well, before we go on, I gotta say, I really would like to, just for that suplex thing alone, I would like to see Neville versus Brock Lesnar.
I'd like to see Neville versus Kurt Angle first before I see Neville versus.
That too.
I want to see Neville versus everybody. That guy's awesome.
I think we can get around that.
Yeah. Yeah. We have our main event. The Fatal 4-Way. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. And the crowd is firmly planted in the corner of Dean Ambrose.
I don't remember the last time I really, really enjoyed a Fatal 4-Way this much.
So it's like, how, and with a crowd reaction like that, how can you not put the belt on Dean Ambrose at some point in the next 12 months?
He doesn't exactly fit Vince's ideal WWE champion. However,
who fucking cares? He's drawing money.
Hold on a second. Triple H is looking at Dean Ambrose going, huh, we can make money with this.
Triple H will work with anything. He worked with goddamn Mankind.
Yeah. Kane and J&J Security are out because
Shenanigans.
yeah, we have to have shenanigans with the Authority. And as the bell rings, J&J Security pulls Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns out so that Randy Orton can have some one-on-one time with Seth Rollins.
I like how Joey Mercury just thinks he has a shot by, okay, I grabbed Roman Reigns by his legs. I have a shot at beating him now.
No, you don't.
Well, yeah, the problem with this is that one of Roman Reigns' legs is about as big as Joey Mercury, so.
Yeah.
And that's not the leg Joey Mercury's grabbing.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Hey, you know what? I got to say, though, too, as we're getting into this match, I agree with JR. The best way to get Roman Reigns over with the fans is to turn him, like, just maniacal heel.
Then turn him face, and then turn him heel 5 minutes later, and then by the end of that Raw broadcast, turn him heel again.
Then have him have sex with the mannequin, and then turn face, and then tear his quad.
Wait, are we talking about Roman Reigns or Kevin Nash?
I was making Triple H references, but close.
Oh, okay.
Good shot there, Iron Bite. The sex with the mannequin thing sure shouldn't have clued you in.
Right. So as we had this match was better than it was on paper.
I disagree.
All the major players were awesome.
Yeah,
I completely disagree, Iron Bite. I thought it was going to be a stellar match going in just because the level of talent. And when Randy Orton gives a fuck.
Yeah, we've discussed this. We have discussed this.
And he gives a fuck when he's working with the Shield.
And he also gives a fuck when he actually has heat and the crowd is responding to him. Like when they're not, or when they're turning against him for the wrong reasons. That guy is a fucking babe in the woods, but he's good this time.
Yeah.
And there were some great spots in this too. Dean Ambrose. We all thought Dean Ambrose here was going to be the monkey, but having J&J Security around allows you to keep everybody looking strong, while at the same time you can still deliver a beatdown. But as long as you've got J&J around, that person can then go back and just beat the crap out of them.
Beat down J&J instead.
Yeah, and then you can get those spots.
And we thought Dean was going to be the monkey so bad we actually called it as the match was starting. He was going to be the one that gets pinned. And
it turns out we were completely wrong. Oh my God, the spots though. We had Dean Ambrose. Right at the beginning, Dean Ambrose hits a suicide dive on Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and J&J Security. And as they're all, just struggling to get up, here comes flying Roman Reigns, who clears the top rope.
There were shades of Shield throughout this match, just left, right, all over the damn place. This is the Shield feud fight we wanted to see from the start.
And we actually had a Shield spot.
It was great.
It was the greatest spot ever because they get the Shield. The Shield. We're going to call them the Shield. The Shield get Randy Orton down on the ground, just in front of the
and this also brought out the commentary line of the night too, which does go to JBL despite any moans and groans.
I haven't talked about JBL, and I don't want to talk to about
this
JBL.
This is the commentary line of the night.
Yes, he does get this line of the night. Go ahead.
Okay, so as I can't even remember who it was that was taking the stuff off the table. I think it was Roman. JBL goes, "Come on, guys! The Spanish announce table is right over there."
I will admit to chuckling at that line, but the Shield hit the triple power bomb on Orton through the announce table, and then Seth goes for the Shield fist bump.
Yeah, come on, guys.
And they're all just standing there like, yeah.
And Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are looking at Seth, smiling
like goobers.
And then he realizes something.
They're not shaking my hand.
I have become era. Because they powerbomb him into the Spanish announce table.
But it doesn't break.
It's like, wait, what? So
and then there's a one more time chant.
And there is, because no, hold on. The one more time chant comes when they grab Kane and powerbomb him on top of Seth Ambrose, and it still doesn't break.
Well, they had to powerbomb Kane twice. Once to go through Rollins and once to go through the table.
Yeah.
Which Rollins was still on. And so as the crowd
pieces of Rollins were still on.
Was just cheering this on. Rollins and Reigns and Ambrose look at each other, and Reigns goes, "Loser buys beers," and Ambrose is like, "Let's do this."
Yeah.
They're just having a buddy fight.
Yeah,
at that point, it felt like the action movie. It's like, wow, we just got a really sweet action movie, and here's the part where they're throwing out before the last fight.
And when the crowd's like chanting one more time about this for the second slam of Kane, they're like, they kind of look at each other and shrug, like, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Did you see Kane, like, when they hosted him up, he had that look on his face like, all right.
Hopefully it breaks this time.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Kane's a team player, dude. Give that guy fucking props. He was like, okay, do it.
He's like, I know my back can take it. I'm just not sure about Rollins' pelvis.
Yeah, he basically looked like John Laurinaitis in the Go to Sleep.
Yeah.
Like just,
by the way, throughout this match, Kane has been interfering on Seth Rollins' behalf, so he has made his decision to keep his job for now.
And he took his shirt off.
With no undershirt underneath his button-up shirt. And Tifus did bring that up.
That's weird to me. It's
weird to me as well.
It's like, what kind of a businessman are you? I can't take you seriously. I can see your nipples through your dress shirt, sir.
The nipples are the distraction. He distracts him with the nipples, then gets the business deal growing right when they're looking at the nipples.
I can't stop staring at them. Just sign it and go away.
So as we're expecting, so Reigns and Ambrose just start going at each other, and Reigns gets Ambrose in a pin, but then he just deadlifts Ambrose up, and the crowd goes insane. They're cheering.
Just slams him.
Yeah, they're cheering for Roman Reigns. Holy shit, guys! Roman Reigns got over.
This was the Shield, man. This was like Shield Roman Reigns. This wasn't Suffer and Succotash Roman Reigns.
That's the Roman Reigns we love.
I think this is the Roman Reigns we need to have more of.
And that's just it. We need to have like Roman Reigns that just doesn't really care, and he's just kind of going out there having fun. Like, oh, the chips are down. Yeah.
Well,
whatever.
That's why we like Ambrose. Oh, yeah. Ambrose is faced with a bunch of heels. What's he going to do? Punch his way out.
Yeah,
dive
basically.
He's gonna go get a hot dog.
So we're getting to the end of this match, because I do want to I do want to kind of keep this under.
Well, real quick, going back, I gotta rewind it because we missed this. Before the match started, they were all standing in the ring looking at each other. What does Roman Reigns do?
I forget.
He cocked his damn hand before the match even started.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's like trying to intimidate everyone else in the ring. He's like looking at him like cock. Like,
it's like
stop it.
Click. No,
he doesn't want to cock them. He wants to fist them.
Pretty much. I mean, that's like the worst gesture.
Either way, there's going to be some penetration tonight.
Like for a show geared towards 13-year-old boys, that's really one of the worst gestures you can make.
I will say this: I kind of like it when he slams the mat when he's setting up for the Superman punch.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's because
cock your wrist like you're a goddamn idiot playing cops and robbers.
But that's because I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan and I like power up sequences.
Oh, that's fine. That's a beautiful setup for it, but
yeah, cocking the fist, no, not so much.
He's naturally built for it too.
Yeah, I know. So Ambrose hits the Superman punch. I'm sorry. Yeah, Reigns hits the Superman punch. He's gonna go for the spear, but Ambrose is like, nope, not going for this. And then Reigns hits the spear after another nice sequence, and Rollins finally, I guess, woke up enough. But so as Rollins is like, I'm still faced with Kane's sweaty ass coming at me. J&J is like, let's save our boss, and they do save the boss. They get Reigns out of the ring, which leaves Ambrose in there. Ambrose with dirty deeds. The pin. Kane pulls him out and then throws him into the steps. And Kane goes to town. This is shades of the demon, of the devil's favorite demon, Kane. He hits
I prefer
chokes.
Big Red Machine Kane personally.
I was a bigger fan of that one.
Okay, I'll give you that. But Kane just starts clearing house. He bashes Ambrose into the steel steps. He chokeslams Roman Reigns onto the steel steps. But I guess Orton decided to wake up. And Orton goes to town. And then it's RKOs for everybody. An RKO for Noble, an RKO for Mercury, an RKO for Kane.
That's how you got Orton to agree to the finish.
And then Rollins hits the crappiest pedigree I've ever seen.
I like Rollins using that pedigree. That wasn't a good moment of it, but whatever.
It was not good pedigree.
He
right move, bad execution.
Yeah. Go, Chris.
He improved on that pedigree on Raw anyway. Way better the next night.
Yeah, I think this was the first time using it in a big time situation, because as we all know, the curb stomp has been he's been told not to use it anymore, which is a shame because I kind of like the curb stomp.
Well, if people would stop body slamming their kids next to a bed, saying they were trying to hit the bed, and then blaming it on wrestling,
I'll give you that. So Seth Rollins picks up the win. And Orton eats the pin. Orton does the job. And it's like, wait a second here.
Orton?
Orton did the job? Not Ambrose?
Orton?
Oh?
Are we in Bizarro world? No, we're not in Canada. We're in Maryland.
Next thing you know, he's going to put over Cesaro one of these days.
It's like...
2005? What?
Wait a second here. Orton ate the pin, and we actually talked about this for a little bit after the match. It was like, Orton ate the pin. How did they get him to agree to that?
All those RKOs.
Which, I mean, and again, everybody looks strong in this match. I cannot say anybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Orton taking the pin either. I mean, it's not out of place at all.
It's not out of place. It's just a surprise.
It's like this stipulation, the Fatal 4-Way, it always can be a good match, and you can book good people in it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a good match. This was one of those cases where it's just like, the people were so good in the match, I forgot it was a fucking Fatal 4-Way.
I really feel like between everyone in the match, save for maybe Reigns, just because I haven't really seen him do this in a match yet, you got a lot of guys that can build a match like Edge could build a match versus guys that build a match like John Cena builds a match.
Yeah.
And that's something John Cena said about Edge back in the Edge DVD. He was like, dude, he's doing things in 3D when he's planning these matches out in his head, and here I am still working in 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
Like John Cena said that. And that you see that with Ambrose, you see that with Rollins. I think there's some of that in Orton too. Reigns is yet to be seen, but he can definitely go along with the flow and get the job done.
Yeah,
Rollins though, he's a master of that.
Rollins is, and now imagine this is 2015. We're talking about Tyler Black in the WWE
World
as
champion.
the face of the company. Could you imagine us talking about that?
Dude, I still remember paying for crappy pay-per-views just to watch that guy have like 45-minute matches, and now it's not even like, look, I want that guy to be the WWE champion. I mean, of course he's that good, but seeing him with the belt, dude, I don't think really that belt shouldn't go to anybody else's. Like, this is the time where we make it like Seth Rollins' era. You know how like Edge had his era, and we can associate a belt with him and John Cena and all that. He's one of those guys now where he has the fucking belt. It's like that's meant to happen.
But and that belt design actually kind of fits for Rollins.
Yeah, it kind of works around his waist. I think
millennial.
Yeah, that's what I was about to actually say. That we did mention that we do think that the booking of Seth Rollins is like how Vince looks at millennials, as in guys who don't actually work for what what they have to.
They've got all the potential in the world, but they want the easy way out. They want
exactly. And if that's so, okay, run with that. Just don't pussy out in the middle of it.
Yeah, don't pull a mid heel run Sheamus and have him run away from the Nexus when he's supposed to be this big baddie.
Yeah. Although running away from the Nexus makes sense because
Not for Sheamus.
yeah.
Or for Daniel
But
Bryan.
that's an argument for a different day. It was just an analogy. But you know, with Tyler Black being in it, they could have a throwback to his indie days now that they've signed their new NXT trainer.
Adam Pearce, everybody.
Yeah, I was going to ask, had you heard about that, Magpie?
Yes.
How does that make you feel, buddy?
I'm glad he's there, but I'm more happy that Jimmy Jacobs was on creative.
How does it make you feel to know that everyone that comes up from NXT is going to have been taught by Adam Pearce?
I feel very good about that.
And we'll talk about NXT on an NXT show.
You whore, you will give me my satisfaction.
So let's wrap this up. So as Seth Rollins wins and Triple H comes out, and I'm like, oh, it's Triple H.
He's gonna make him start over the match just to you get that pedigree right, goddammit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And
You call that a brass ring? I'll show you brass rings.
Pedigree's Orton for himself.
I'll show you a pair of brass rings.
And that's your pay-per-view. That's Payback.
That was
And
It wasn't a bitch.
Yeah, it was solid, but even though we slogged through it.
the only point where the pay-per-view slowed down was during the I Quit match.
Oh.
And that's only because of the constant, do you quit?
It was. I mean, you kind of got to have that to an extent, but they had a little bit too much, and they overbooked the shit out of that match.
Yeah, which is a shame because that was the final chapter. Rusev will no longer be.
All you need is a fake cheese grater, a few kendo sticks. Come on, guys, let's keep it simple.
It was the final chapter. Playing the part of John Cena will be Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman cannot be reached for at this time, so in his place will be the voice of Donatello from the second movie.
And now, playing Rusev.
But I'm
is
Tish.
no
Okay, I'm
longer-
sorry. I stop. I'm done.
Okay. Not much to say. I mean, like I said, Payback, solid as hell. Up to the end where, until we get to a almost screeching halt with John Cena and Rusev, and that being said, it's time for What's All HBK's Fault? That's our game, and I will begin. What is all HBK's fault? The fact that Vince has a butt fetish.
That might actually be true.
Yeah, really might.
God damn it, man! You're supposed to keep it in character.
Damn. Holy crap. Did I...
I'd say Big E not getting to enjoy his tasty cold glass of milk is all HBK's fault.
I would say Cena's damned old mother is all HBK's fault.
Better than his damned old father.
Oh, wow. Magpie?
I'm never good at any of these because when the good shit happens, it's like I don't know what to blame HBK on.
And that's HBK's fault.
No, we're
It's
not
all
going with that.
It's all HBK's fault that Curtis Axel doesn't have charisma.
Also might be true.
You know what? You never know. Hey, Tiefus.
Yeah?
You got something to say, don't you?
I do have something to say. Guys, we have a new sponsor. I'd like to tell you to be sure to chat with us.
Money.
Stop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Be sure to chat with us at piledriverwrestling.net, where we are part of the OSW Podcast Network. Listen to the great content like OSW Review, the Attitude Era Podcast, the New Generation Podcast, and the New Blood Rising Podcast. And join the community to discuss all things wrestling and MMA. You can follow us on Twitter at DarkMatchPod, like us on Facebook at DarkMatch Podcast, and subscribe on YouTube at DarkMatch Podcast. You can also subscribe to the audio version of our podcast on iTunes, on Stitcher, and on Podbean. And make sure to leave a comment and review.
And that's going to wrap it up for us.
You guys like that? That was my first read. I didn't even practice that.
That's actually a pretty good read. That will wrap it up for us tonight with WWE Payback on this, the 19th of May.
May
time
19th.
at time of recording, and
Play with your matches, kids. It's May 19th.
And your meat
yeah,
hooks.
I'm gonna tell you this. Gonna tell you this, guys. For everybody here at the Dark Match, good night and good luck. And I'm gonna run now. I heard Kane.
Bye.